Welcome to the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the show, leave a comment, and click that like button. All right, welcome back to another edition of the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast as we do our weekly predictions on each division in the NFL as we come up on the 2024-2025 season. This week, we're doing the NFC North. So, yes. So, NFC North, right? I always try to break this down so we'll know who they're facing. All right? So, the NFC North is going to play the NFC West, and they're going to play the AFC South, and their 17th game will be against the AFC East. So, that kind of breaks it down, kind of sets things up as far as, how things can turn out for these teams in this division, right?
That sounds kind of easy to me. Say that again. You said the AFC South.
South.
The AFC South and the AFC East?
Well, the AFC South, they play that entire division, and then they play the entire NFC West. Now, NFC West. Now, the 17th game, the one game comes from the AFC East based on where they ended in their division. So, like the Lions, they will play the Dolphins. Is that right? The Dolphins won the Bills won the division.
The Bills won the division, right.
So they'll play the Bills, right? And the Packers will play the Dolphins. So, yeah. So it's gonna be an interesting division. I mean, who knows? I mean, Caleb Williams might be the next CJ Stroud and lead the Bears to the playoffs.
We'll see about that. I gotta tell you, I got some reservations about that dude, man. I really do. And now that I watched the first episode of Hard Knocks, nothing changed. I still got reservations about him. I really do. It's personality.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like he come off way too cocky.
Yeah.
And diva-ish.
Yeah.
To me. And then other times, I feel like he's got like that strength to be a leader. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I just feel like I can imagine him on the sideline crying because somebody hit him too hard when they sacked him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my thing is like, whether or not grown men are going to tolerate that from him. That cocky attitude, talking down to his teammates type of deal. I don't know. I mean, if the coaches allow it, maybe he can get away with it. If they're winning, maybe he can get away with it.
Right. Well, that's the thing. If the coaches are coddling him too much, then you're going to divide the locker room.
Right.
Because, veteran players are not going to have that.
Right.
Especially if he coming in like, let's say you try to pull a Russell Wilson, have his own office, something like that. The veteran player is not going to be having that.
Right.
But if I was anybody, if anybody was to be mad, if I was Justin Fields, I'll be furious right now at the Bears. Look at all that talent they bring into the team now, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They went and got Keenan McCardle, drafted a receiver first round, top 10. Already had
DJ Moore
there. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, where was all this before?
Right.
When Justin Fields was there. We brought one receiver in, but okay, who else was I throwing to? Looney. And then my third receiver was basically Cole Kmet. Because I don't know who the other receiver was. The tight end.
Oh, the tight end. Oh, yeah, the tight end was pretty decent.
Yeah, he was pretty decent, but he basically the third receiver.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So, I would be furious if I was Justin Fields.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think the coach's job is on the line, even though he has a rookie quarterback. I think they're expecting to see like a strong push to make the playoffs with this team. I don't know. I don't see it. This might be a tough year. But I'll let you go first. I'll let you go first to break it down.
Okay. Well, they did flip this. They did flip things around. As far as talent wise, when you look on paper, they're a whole different team. When you look at them on paper, they got some stuff on both sides of the ball. But we'll see if they can work that out. But as usual, I'm gonna start mine from top to bottom. Because that's what I do. I don't want and once you get to the 3, then we already know who the 1 is anyway, right?
Right,
So
exactly.
let's I'm gonna just start off with say that the Lions are probably going to repeat as the champions of this division. And for my betters, they are plus 130, the favorites to win the division. You know, for the betters out there.
Okay.
They just have, it seems like, the most from top to bottom, the coaching, the players, they got the 2 running backs. They got those good, they have a great receiver. The rest of them are kind of mid-grade, but they work together. And then they got a great tight end. They do have a really, really good tight end.
Really good tight end. Yes.
Really good tight end. So offensively, yes. Defensively, not impressed. Not impressed at all defensively, especially how they gave up that big lead in the playoffs last year. There's no indicator what they did to Dallas. I mean when they played Dallas. But anyway, yeah, I think that they're still the winners of that division, just simply by, like I said, they got the coaching, they got the quarterback in place, got Goff in now. And that's 2 teams that Goff has now taken to the NFC Championship. 2 different teams he's taken to the NFC Championship, and Dak hasn't done once yet. But that's okay. We're not talking about that.
I didn't know you was gonna make the Dak comparison there. You about that, but yes, yeah, twice, man, and he's been to a Super Bowl. So,
and you took the Lions of all teams,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh my God! But anyway, second place, and they are plus 200. They are actually the second favorites to win the division, and that is the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love, the second half of that season last year, just flipped the script on my judgment of him completely, because I put him in the first half of the season, I put him in the same category as what's the quarterback Dallas just picked up from San Francisco that they picked up. They went up and got why can't I think his name?
Trey
Lance.
Trey Lance.
Yeah, I put him in the same category with Trey Lance as overhyped, can't really produce. He wouldn't be like a starting quarterback in the NFL long term. But my, how 2 halves of the season changed, right? Because the second half of the season, he was a top 5 quarterback. And I mean, that's on paper. You know what I'm saying? That's on paper. He was a top 5 quarterback. Yes. I cannot believe it, man.
He was sharp.
He was second in the league in quarterback passes. I mean, quarterback touchdowns, passing touchdowns last year. Second in the league. On your first start, 32 touchdowns. That's pretty impressive. And considering he did most of that in the second half of the year.
Started off slow. Yeah.
Started off very, very, very slow. I didn't think he had a chance. There was no chance Lance for me. But what he did going into the playoffs, leading up to the playoffs, and then going on the road where Dallas was like 15, they won 15 straight home games and scoring an average of 31 points a game. Okay, during that stretch, they went in and handled business. And he did not look like he was a new quarterback starting. He just didn't. He was hitting his receivers, and it ain't like he got a wealth of receivers like these household names at receiver.
I know. He really doesn't. He has some young receivers that they drafted in, like, maybe like in a second or third year they drafted in the first round, but yeah,
and they were the youngest team in the league. You know what I'm saying? For them to be able to accomplish what they accomplished. Like I said, he was second in the league in touchdown passes. Second half of the league, he was a top 5 quarterback. That's unbelievable. If they can keep that up, LaFleur can keep that up with his offense, and they can improve some on the defense. That's where I thought they were lacking as far as the team. I think. Oh, you know what? I didn't give my how many games did the Lions will win. I got the Lions winning 12 games again. No, sorry, 11 games. Going 11-6.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason being just because they like you said, top number one schedule this year. Their competition is gonna go way up from what it was last year.
Yep.
So I just think by that virtue, they won 12 this past season. They'll lose one. They'll win one less game because of that. But they do play in that division. You got a young quarterback, 2 young quarterbacks, got 3 young quarterbacks, and 1 veteran quarterback. So I think they'll still go 11-6. Green Bay, they're actually going to improve this year, man. I think they're going to sneak up on people. Even though what they did last year, they kind of did it quietly. They won 9 games last year. I think this year they're going to win 10 games. I'm going to go 10, maybe 11, depending on where things shake out. You know what I'm saying? But 10, I've got them winning 10 games, going 10-7, and maybe squeaking into the playoffs. It's going. My prediction is it's going to be between them and the Cowboys squeaking out those last 2 spots.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
Right. Yep. They're going to be squeaking out them last 2 spots right there. I think so. All right. So
you think somebody's not going to make the playoffs with a 10-7 record?
Yes, I think that's going to be the cutoff.
Wow.
It's going to be 10-7. That's going to be the cutoff. Okay. And if they do make it, they're going to be making it by winning their division.
Mm-hmm.
If they're free agent, not free agent. If they're wild card, I don't think they're going to make it in with 10 games.
Yeah.
But okay, so after that, and this one was kind of tough because you got two young quarterbacks going to be starting. Of course, one got the better pedigree.
Yeah.
But Bears in the offseason, man, it's very few teams that made more moves than they have as far as offseason. The Bears, they look on paper, they look kind of stacked, man. They really do. I don't know if they're going to be able to put all that together because all them people haven't played together. But talent-wise, man, if the quarterback can actually come and do, let's say 80% what they projected him to do, because they acting like he's gonna be the next coming. If he could do 80% of what they think he can do in his rookie year, they may be able to compete. Now, what I worry about with the Bears, because the Bears is who I got going third in this division.
Okay.
If they put him out there like he's a veteran, spread everything out, I think he's going to have problems. And just for the simple fact that at USC, Caleb Williams held the ball a long, long time. I mean, there were several plays where he would just be sitting back there, looking, scramble to the right, looking, scramble to the left, look, and then he'll take off running. Several plays like that. You can't do that in NFL. You cannot do that in NFL. If you do that in NFL, you're going to be standing there looking, and then lights out. Somebody going to wipe you out.
Right.
And you're going to wake up like, what happened? Who missed their block?
Yeah, because you got to stay on schedule.
Right. You got to stay on schedule, and you got to get rid of that ball quickly. And that's not what I felt he did at USC. I always thought that was one of his weaknesses. It's just holding on the ball too long. And that's the same critique I had of Bryce Young coming out of Alabama. And, I'm not going to just say that's the reason why he didn't play well in the Panthers, because they didn't have no talent around him neither. But that was part of his problem. He had to get out of that, And I'm going to say that the Bears going to get the third place, but I don't got them winning a whole bunch of games. I don't have them winning a whole bunch of games.
How many games you got them winning?
I got the Bears going 8-9. I got them going 8-9. I didn't break down their schedule because, like I said, they got a lot of new pieces that they didn't have last year. So it's going to take a whole new evaluation. I got to see them play. They had like a little combination of running backs back there, but I don't know who they have running back there this year because
DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift came in. See, that's what I was saying. They brought in talent, like names anyway.
Yeah.
They brought names to this team.
They gave DJ Moore a new contract.
Gave him a new contract.
Yeah.
You know, brought in Keenan Allen.
Yep.
From San Diego, another #1 receiver. You know what I'm saying? Then you got a doozy. I think that's how you say his name. A doozy from Washington, who was just in the national championship game.
That's a running back?
No, the wide receiver.
Oh, the wide receiver. Okay,
the #1
okay.
wide receiver from Washington.
Yeah, they loaded.
Man. From the Huskies. Loaded. Yeah, man. They are loaded, especially on offense. So if all that talent come together, you know, they're gonna at least win those 8 games. I think they're gonna go 8-9. But I'm worried about more about their defense. And number 2, them giving too much to Caleb Williams too early. You know what I'm saying? I think they're gonna try to open up the book. They're gonna spread out. You know, they're gonna have 4 or 3 receivers all the time. They're gonna get away from running the ball. And I think he's gonna go through some growing pains.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So rounding up the bottom of the division is the Vikings. I don't know what to say about the Vikings because they got so many question marks.
Right.
It's so many question marks. They reached out. I mean, the only question mark that's not there is Justin Jefferson, right? I mean, of course, he's the best receiver in the league. I don't think a lot of people will argue with that. Well, they'll argue with that with Tyreek Hill, okay? But it's 1A, 1B, right? But you go reach on JJ McCarthy. I was not a big JJ McCarthy fan coming out of Michigan. They didn't really throw the ball like that. That was a running defensive team. That was a running and defensive team, and then pass when they had to.
Right.
You know, they never really opened it up like that. And they had 2 good running backs back there. One of them went to the Rams. Karam. He's in the Rams backfield now, but I don't think he's going to have that wealth of talent he had with him at Michigan.
Right.
You know, and he's not going to have that Harbaugh coaching, you know, because Harbaugh, if you like him or not, he's been successful wherever he's gone.
Right.
He comes to the NFL, he instantly turned San Francisco around. They turned to NFC Championship 3 straight years.
But even before he got to San Francisco, he was successful at San Diego State.
Yeah.
He went to Stanford. He was successful there at Stanford.
Yep.
And then he went to San Francisco and was successful there. Just like this guy's an amazing coach.
Turned Stanford around, then came and turned San Francisco around, then went back to Michigan, turned them around, won a national championship, and then come back, you know. Yeah. So he's been successful. So the coaching is there. He's not going to have that. Now, how responsible is that? I mean, maybe they were that type of team because they knew they couldn't really rely on JJ McCarthy. But to be honest with you, I watched JJ McCarthy for 2 years in college, right? Specifically watching him. I put a lot of bets on Michigan football over the last 2 years, okay? And I will say they came through a lot of times, but it wasn't because of him.
Right.
It was because of that running game. They had 2 beast running backs, probably one of the best line core in offensive linemen in lineman core in college football.
Well, he got the awards to show he was the best in college football.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So he had a lot of talent around him, right? And he didn't have to do a whole lot. They never really had to lay on his back. But as far as that, they brought over Aaron Jones from the Packers for the running back, right? And we already knew they had TJ Hawkinson, who used to be the Lions star tight end.
Right.
Right. But other than that, I don't see a whole lot that's making me say, wow, you know, this team is about to do something. You know, I have them winning. Just like I said, I don't really believe in JJ McCarthy. Yeah, he's going to have to prove it to me. I got them winning 6 games, going 6-11.
Okay.
Rounding up the bottom. I don't really look out for a lot when they lost their coach. You know, Mike Zimmer is over with Dallas now. And you're starting with a rookie quarterback who I really don't believe in. Yeah. I think they'll be actually lucky to win 6 games.
Yeah. Well, you know, starting with my list, you know, I start from the bottom.
Oh, and by the way, if y'all win a lottery ticket, they are plus 1,000 to win the division.
No, right. And it should be.
Right.
Yeah. Look, let's just be honest. Two things here. JJ McCarthy, I didn't see him as a franchise quarterback coming out of Michigan. Like you said, Michigan was a run first defensive team. And they won like that with those two things. And JJ wasn't asked to do a lot. And that's not to say that he can't, he's not special. He might be. Maybe Jim Harbaugh, they call Jim Harbaugh, like, seriously, Jim, what you think about this kid? Well, yeah, we held him back because we wanted to win the championship. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Right. I know I don't believe that he can turn this thing around. And the fact that this is obvious. The Vikings are rebuilding. They pretty much let everything go and just kept Justin Jefferson. So this team is obviously rebuilding. They're not trying to, I don't want to say they're not trying to win, but I don't think going to the Super Bowl is a higher priority on their list right now. Yeah, they're striving for it, but they're really trying to develop. And they got a young coach who's been there. I think he's in his third season now. So, I think he's still got time on his hand unless this season goes completely sideways. You bring in Aaron Jones. He's got a lot of mileage on him. I just don't see a lot from the Vikings. So I'm thinking 4-13. I think this is going to be a tough season for the Vikings. I think it's easy pickings for teams playing the Vikings in this division. So, and then third on my list will be the Chicago Bears. Right? I like what the Bears have done. They had to, right? You got the Packers ascending, you got the Lions ascending. They're trying to whatever they can do to keep up with them. But that's just too much to deal with in the division. And then have to play the teams outside the division like the 49ers, the Rams, the Seahawks. You got the Texans you got to play. It's going to be a lot for the Bears to do it, and to do it with a rookie quarterback. That's asking for a lot. And hopefully this kid can handle the pressure. Don't try to look, CJ Stroud. That was one of the generation type of quarterback thing that happened. That was a one-off. That's a Ben Roethlisberger type start of a season for a rookie quarterback, right?
Yeah.
You don't see that often, and I would not expect that from Caleb. But like I said, the Bears brought in a lot of talent offensively. I think the problem is stopping people.
Right.
Yeah, the defense won't be able to hold enough to allow the young quarterback to make his mistakes. Right, he's going to throw for a lot of yards. He's going to get some touchdowns, but he's going to make some mistakes. Yeah. And I think that's what's going to hold the Bears back. And I got the Bears. I got them winning less games than you had them. I got them just winning 7. I think they're going 7-10. Now, so I'm gonna go on to number 2 and number 1. So once I tell you number 2, you're gonna know what number 1 is. And I kind of made an in episode change to my list. All right. Okay. I really started thinking about this, man. I thought the Packers looked really good towards the end of the season.
They did. Second half of the year.
Second half of the year. And not just Jordan Love. I thought that defense looked really, really good. And I think they've found something on that defensive end. They got a lot of young studs on defense. So with that said, my number 2 team in this division will be the Detroit Lions.
Wow.
That's
a bold pick.
That is a bold pick. It's either a bold pick or a clown pick. One of the two. So wow. I do not have the Lions winning this division, and it's not by much. Not by much. I had the Lions going 11-6, right? And the Lions didn't really add much. They didn't change much, right? The one key thing that they did was not losing their offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson. He stayed. So if they had lost Ben Johnson, I think I would have had them winning like 9-10 games. but keeping Ben Johnson was important, but they didn't add too much. They've totally redone their cornerbacks, their quarterback room. They brought in Carlton Davis and some other guys, whatever. So they're just still going to struggle on defense, and I think that's what's going to hold them back. And so I don't have them having this great season. I got them going 11-6, which is still a good season. Still a good season.
Yeah,
still, still could make the playoffs. Either 11-6 or 10-7. So with that said, I have the Packers winning this division. Not by much. I got them both being 11-6 and the Packers having upper hand, division wins
some
or whatever.
Tiebreaker.
Some type of tiebreaker thing, because the Packers are playing with a second place schedule. The Lions are playing with a first place schedule. So it's not quite the same games that they're playing. So I think the Packers going to have it with some type of tiebreaker scenario and have this division. Because what's important that the Packers did add, right? They added Josh Jacobs at running back. So now they got a running back that was the AFC leader in rushing. 2 years ago?
2 seasons ago, yep.
Yeah. So now he's in your backfield to go along with who's the big bruising guy? That guy, I can't remember his name.
Dylan.
Mm-hmm. To go along with him, right? I think this is a good addition, right?
Yeah, AJ Dillon still there.
Yeah, considering they lost Aaron Jones, I think Josh Jacobs gives you more. A younger back too, a back that's proven to be good. So to go along with Jordan Love, who played well towards the end of the season, to go along with a strong defense that was really coming into their own towards the end of the season. Hot damn it, I got the Packers winning this division at 11-6 with some type of tiebreaker scenario. And that's going to be my bold pick. Bam.
Wow. I was just when I was about to say, damn, we got the same divisional picks.
Right.
No switch it. But it's gonna be interesting to see if that actually happened,
Yeah. Well, I mean, once I saw the Josh Jacobs addition, I felt really good about that. I think Josh Jacobs literally carried the Raiders. Not
he did. He definitely did. 2 years ago, he definitely did.
He carried them.
He was everything. But now the only thing is with Josh Jacobs is he has an injury history. Like that, those 2 years ago was the only year he's really been healthy.
Right.
Normally he's going to miss about 4 or 5 games for you at least.
But he had in the last 2 seasons.
Right. Well, I don't know about last year so much, but he definitely missed. I mean, the year before that, he definitely played almost every game.
Almost every game, and I think last season did he not played at the beginning of the season because of a contract dispute.
That is correct.
Yes. Correct. I don't know if he's over the injury problem, but he has been on the field more. And so I think depending on, what his situation is, whether or not he's happy in Green Bay, which I think he will be, he's going to be good there. And I think he's going to be a great compliment for Jordan Love. And with him on offense, with Jordan Love throwing to those young receivers and a strong defense, holding things down for him, I think the Packers win this division. I said it.
Well, my interesting thing with Jordan Love, like I said, I flipped the script on him so much between the first half of the season and the second half of the season that I really want to see if he can do this for more than 8 games. Because I basically got an 8-game good sample of him. Because the first 8, he was just looking awful.
He was.
But the last 8, he looked great. So that's gonna be a huge question mark right there for me. How good is he going to look? Because it can't be comfort no more. He should be comfortable now, the way he did last year. Now the thing is, can he do the same thing this season? That's going to be the question for me.
Yeah, because and the funny thing about it, I felt like he really, he had a really tough game against the Saints. The game where we had a 17-0 lead against them.
Right.
And he came back. He came back and beat it. It was like the third game of the season. And he was struggling, dude. He was struggling. Their defense was the real reason they won that game. And their defense played extremely well. But he seemed to he seemed to kind of get his mojo, kind of figure it out. I think they started to scale things back, to simplify things for him, and he started hitting those targets, and then they started to build on that, and then you saw him improve throughout the season, right? Well, I should say it differently. So after they beat the Saints, I'm looking at the schedule now. They lost 4 straight. They lost 4. They lost the Lions, Raiders, Broncos, Vikings. They lost 4 straight. Yeah. And then they kind of started figuring things out towards the end of the season to get into the playoffs. Yeah. So, yeah. So
yeah, that's gonna be interesting right there.
Yeah.
Then, like I said, I give him a little extra credit because when you name his receiving core, it just doesn't spark fear into your heart. It's like you're not saying, "Oh, well, that's why he was good. Look at his receivers he got."
Mm-hmm.
You know, he had some pretty run-of-the-mill receivers.
He did.
I mean, they played good. They played decent, but they weren't household names. These weren't people that you would be like, yeah, these are number 1 receivers. You know, Christian Watson.
Right.
You know, who's they gotta have? Wicks. They got Wicks.
Who?
And Romeo Dobbs. You
Who?
know, Romeo Dobbs. That was their number 2 receiver last year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the number 2 receiver, you know. I give him a little extra credit because of that, you know. He was able to still produce even with that.
But I think, considering the coach and the style of offense he wants a run first offense.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's important that, Josh Jacobs is there. You already had AJ Dillon. So I think they're gonna be, this that Mike Shanahan type offense with the stretch runs and the play action off of that. So and they're probably looking to go more with the big receivers for blocking down the field. So we'll see.
Like I said, for my quarterback, I always say 2 things I need you to do: throw for 30 plus touchdowns, or 4,000 yards or more, right? And Jordan Love did both of those last year.
Right.
4,100 yards and 32 touchdowns. That's impressive on your first start.
That is impressive. That is. Yes.
Very.
So, all right. Well, we'll see, man.
Yeah,
good stuff.
dog.
Good stuff.
And it starts this week. It starts tomorrow. That's when preseason, the real preseason starts tomorrow.
I know the Saints play this weekend, so I can't wait.
Yeah, man. And you see, if you look at the schedule, you see how NFL is getting ready. They're starting to take over Friday night football too, right?
No, games are going to be on Friday now?
Games are going to be on Friday. So you notice how they do it. They start off in the preseason. They see how good. Then Raiders come back good. Mark my words, you're going to see Friday night football.
I doubt it, man. Because
you're going to see Friday night football. Because think about it. That's another package they get to sell.
I know, but they
already sold the Monday night. They already got Monday night sold. They got Thursday night sold to Amazon.
Right, but since Friday night is high school football, they're not going to touch that. And they don't touch Saturday because Saturdays is college football unless the season is over. Then they'll put the game on Saturday.
Nah, they put them. Yeah, them last few weeks they definitely put them on Saturday.
Yeah, because the college football regular season,
right, it's
winding down. They may not be in any games on Saturday, but boy, if they put the games on Friday, boy, they're gonna be. I don't think they worry about that. Yeah, I don't think some angry people in Texas and California and Florida.
Yeah,
so, Friday nights is serious there, boy.
That's football. That's high school football.
That's high school football. So
for sure.
We'll see. I mean, I think the next day they're gonna take is Tuesday and Wednesday. It's gonna be games on Tuesday.
Well, no, you can't. You can't do Tuesday and Wednesday.
Why not?
You know why? Because the injury report. You know what I'm saying? They don't let the injury report out till Wednesday night. So they gotta wait till the injury report come out to find out what you're gonna do for the next week. And then number 2, you can't give people, you're getting less and less amount of time for the rest up between games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think Tuesday and Wednesday they're gonna have to always reserve to be off. But that Friday, I mean they're already doing it now. They already have Thursday, but they have Friday night games. and you see they got which package does Peacock have? Because Amazon got Thursday night.
Right.
Now, which game did Peacock take? Is that Friday?
I don't know.
Night?
I don't know.
I know these. Matter of fact, these games that are coming on Friday, I think they're Peacock games, or at least one of them is.
Okay.
You only can see it on Peacock.
But I mean, the preseason is different. Preseason, they'll do Friday games. They'll do Saturday games.
Well, that's how Thursday night football got started.
Well,
there used to not be no Thursday night football.
I know, right.
And then they started. They said, "Here we go. We got some Thursday night football for y'all."
I think Thursday night started with Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well, okay. That one Thursday night.
That one Thursday night, it was
but like, I mean, regular Thursday
we might have something here. We might have something here on Thursdays. And then, but they did it. They did it slick. They gave it to the NFL Network. Remember, that's how it started. It was on NFL Network, and then they sold it off. They created a new product. So,
yep, and that's the same thing when they about to do Friday night.
That'll be interesting to see. I want to see how that work out.
Peacock. It's gonna be Peacock Friday, though.
They're
gonna be selling another $2 billion package.
Selling it to Tubi or something.
Selling it to Tubi, yo. Tubi Tuesdays, yo. NFL's taking over, dog.
Yeah, you're right. Well, TNT, they got a slot that's open. So
yeah, they sure do. I can't believe they let basketball go. What is wrong with them?
Boy, that was nuts. That was nuts on TNT.
What they doing? They doing?
And they had it. They were paying less. They were paying less for it.
Right.
Less than what the NBA sold it for. The NBA was like, peace.
Right. Yeah.
All right, man. Let's go and wrap this thing up. Thanks for joining us again. We do this thing every week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Holla.